What if you could avoid viral diseases forever altogether? What if all it took for you to change your DNA was a trip down to the doctor just for an injection? Well, there's already technology that makes this possible. It's called CRISPR. And CRISPR is basically a system composed of two molecules. It's called Cas9 and you have RNA standing for guide RNA. The guide RNA will basically take Cas9 down to the bacteria and basically try to go into its genetic code. And so Cas9 will basically go to the genome of the bacteria and try to cut out parts of it. Cas9 will try to act as a giant scissor, just like as you see there, and it will try to cut out part of the DNA and the cell will try to react by completing the sequence. And so you could basically use this to edit DNA as much as you wanted, and the bacteria will try to kill itself because you could try to reprogram it so the bacteria will look at the other bacteria as an enemy. And so the bacteria will end up committing suicide. That's fine and dandy, right? You can get rid of viral disease as long as you want, and you can basically edit DNA to basically stay young forever and not to worry about any of genetic diseases such as Alzheimer's or Huntington's disease. And that's all we wanted, right? That's what we're doing science for, and that's what progress in the field is for. But obviously, there are issues that honestly there are not so big of issues. Basically, the problems are the patenting, the lack of regulation in the field, and the risk of transferring gene mutations. So the problem with patenting is that since this is a new technology, basically a pharmaceutical company will try to just take over and try to have control over it, which is basically gene editing just for one company. And so that will lead to lack of regulation in the field since, like, where do we go with this since it's such a new technology? And so also you have the risk of transferring gene mutations because you can also basically copy and paste DNA as much as you want, and you end up with a messed up gene pool, which is a pretty big possibility. But honestly, the biggest issue, as everything in biotechnology has issues with, is designer babies. Because, and always the problem with DNA is that, you can change DNA as much as you want with this technology. And basically, you will have a bunch of scientists that will want to make babies stronger, more intelligent, faster, and basically see an issue with it. And honestly, I don't see the big problem. I don't think we will get that far with designer babies, or that is anything about an issue, because like honestly, engineering the heck out of DNA is something that we've been trying to do forever, and there's already technology for it. The only thing with CRISPR is that CRISPR is accessible. So CRISPR is simple, and it's also pretty low cost compared to all the other technology that we have. And so it will be more accessible for all kinds of people, that for all socioeconomical backgrounds. And honestly, gene editing wouldn't just be for the rich. And honestly, let Neil deGrasse Tyson have an opinion about this as well.
We've been modifying genes, not by gene editing, but by selective breeding from the beginning. How else can you turn a wolf into a chihuahua, into a lap poodle? That's what we've been doing. We just know how to do it better today than ever before, faster than ever before. What I find interesting about CRISPR and its applications is how widespread it can become. It doesn't require large labs or large sums of money. So in a sense, it democratizes gene editing. And I have no idea where that will go. Are we wise enough to tame ourselves in the presence of this awesome power that previously was only in the hands of nature? Only in the hands of nature over millennia, and in some cases millions of years. And now you can do it over a weekend with a kit, modifying organisms. Biology is still being transformed by CRISPR technologies. I don't know where it's going to land, but I know there's a huge upside for the good that it could bring us all. And let's just hope our culture, our scientists, our institutions are wise enough to get us there.
So basically, progress is something we've been trying to do for a while, and there's always an issue with it. There's always like problems like, oh, we don't like that. We want to keep it traditional or whatever. And medicine in general, of course, we've been doing medicine which is not natural since the beginning of time. So I don't see what the big problem is with just going straight to the DNA and just cut out the parts that you don't want. And so it's just basically putting a damp in progress, because like science is always trying to grow. And basically saying that we cannot do stuff like this is saying like, oh, well, this is where we stop. This is where we stop growing as a society, as a scientific community. And honestly, I don't see the issue with it. If we can reach for the stars, why don't we do it? Why don't we just shoot for the stars and aim for the best?